Level 1, the recruiter. You're 16, sitting on the steps outside a bus station that smells like diesel and fried food. You're not here by accident. You know this place. You know who waits here with nothing but a backpack and a phone with a cracked screen. You know who's looking for a way out. A man finds you, not the other way around. He's older, clean clothes, no tattoos. You talk easy, he says. People listen. He gives you a phone and one rule. Don't promise too much. You don't say human trafficking. No one ever does. You say jobs. You say opportunity. Cleaning work in another city. Factory shifts. Hospitality. You say it's temporary. You say it's legal. When someone says yes, you text a number and a name. That's it. You're paid $300 per person. Cash. Folded once. No receipts. No follow-up. At first, it feels harmless. You don't see what happens next. You don't want to. You tell yourself everyone is an adult making their own choices. One afternoon, 3 months in, you recognize a girl across the street. Same jacket, same haircut, someone you recruited in the spring. You lift your hand. She looks straight past you. Later, you ask the man about it. She didn't call her family, you say. He shrugs. That's not your problem. That's the only warning you get. If the police stop you, you're alone. You don't have a handler. You don't have a lawyer. Tomorrow, someone else will be standing on these steps, saying the same words you learned. Level 2, the transporter. You're 18 now. They stop calling you for names. Now you move people. Short routes, city to city. Sometimes overnight. You're told where to be and when to leave. You're told not to talk. You're told not to answer questions that weren't asked. You drive a rented van. The windows are dark. The air is stale. No one speaks. At a checkpoint, an officer shines a flashlight inside. Everyone got ID? You nod. Someone in the back hesitates. The officer looks at you again. Don't take long. You don't breathe until you're 10 minutes down the road. You're paid $1,500 per trip. Enough to feel dangerous. Enough to feel worth it. If something goes wrong, the instructions are clear. If you're stopped, the voice says on the phone, you don't know us. When the trip ends, the phone you used goes into a trash bag. The SIM is snapped in half. A new phone appears next week. People don't disappear anymore. They're removed. Level 3, the minder. Now you stay in one place. An apartment with covered windows. A lock on the outside of the door. Your job is simple. No one leaves unless they're told to. You're given rules to repeat. Sit. Wait. Phone's away. You're not supposed to hit anyone. Not unless they try to run. How long will we be here? Someone asks you one night. You don't answer. You weren't taught what to say. You're paid weekly now. $1,200. On time. Every time. At night, you hear crying through the wall. You scroll your phone. You turn the volume up. You tell yourself someone else decided this. But if someone runs, it's on you. And you already know what happens to people who mess up twice. Level 4, the collector. You stop guarding doors. Now you track output. You carry a small notebook that never leaves your pocket. It's not names, it's numbers, dates, amounts, missed targets circled in red. You don't deal with the people directly anymore. You deal with handlers, landlords, business fronts, apartments paid in cash, rooms that need to stay quiet, vehicles that shouldn't attract attention. Once a week, you make rounds. How many this week? 6. Last week was 8. There's no yelling. There doesn't need to be. If someone falls behind, you make a call. She's sick, a handler tells you. You flip a page. Then she owes. You don't decide consequences. You document them. You pass them upward. That's the job. You're paid $3,000 a week now. Enough that your life starts to change. Better clothes. Better food. Fewer questions from your family because you've learned how to answer without explaining. This is the first level where people stop being people entirely. Their capacity, risk, loss. If something collapses, it doesn't fall on you. If the numbers don't add up, it does. Level 5, the local operator. You run a route now. Not just one apartment, an area, a pipeline. Recruiters check in with you. Transporters wait for your confirmation. Minders follow your schedules. Your phone never stops vibrating. Border's hot. Move early. Switch locations. You sit in cafes with no music and no cameras. Meetings last 5 minutes. Longer than that draws attention. A police officer slides into the chair next to you one afternoon. He doesn't look at you. "You're going to want to slow things down," he says. "For how long?" He names a number. You nod. That number goes into your budget now. You're making serious money. $20,000 to $30,000 a month. Enough to think about disappearing. Enough to start asking questions you shouldn't. You ask one. "What happens if I'm done?" The man across from you doesn't answer right away. He stirs his coffee slowly. "You're not," he says. "You know too much." That's when it becomes clear. You're not being paid to work. You're being paid to stay silent. From this level on, exits don't exist, only replacements. Level 6, the network coordinator. You don't manage places anymore. You manage regions, multiple cities, multiple routes, different rules depending on where the pressure is coming from. You speak in estimates now, not counts. How many moved this month? Enough. Enough isn't a number. You never use the same phone twice. Meetings change locations hours before they happen. Messages come through people you've never met. Your lawyer calls you once. "You're not charged," he says, "but your name is in a file." That's how you know you're visible. The money is enormous now, but it's abstract. Properties and other names, businesses you've never visited, accounts you don't control directly. You don't travel, you don't post, you don't stay anywhere long enough to feel settled. You trust no one completely, not the people below you who want your position, and not the people above you who would trade you for time. At this level, the system doesn't feel criminal, it feels mechanical. And if one part fails, it's designed to fail inward. Level 7, the broker. You don't move people anymore. You move access. Your value is distance. You connect buyers, operators, and routes that are never allowed to meet. When a pipeline stalls, your phone rings. When pressure spikes, you're the one who smooths it. Meetings happen where no one listens. Airport terminals, hotel bars during conferences. You talk for 3 minutes, never longer. "We need capacity," someone says, not looking at you. "How soon?" "Last week." You don't promise outcomes. You promise introductions. Names that open doors. Numbers that make problems disappear. If a deal collapses, it's never your fault. You didn't run it. You didn't manage it. You only connected people who insisted they could handle it. That distance keeps you alive. It also makes you dangerous. You know which routes depend on which documents, which operators share financiers, which officials are quietly compromised. If you talked, entire sections would freeze. So, you're watched, constantly, by law enforcement and by the people who rely on you. Brokers don't get fired, they get erased. Level 8, the financier. You never see the system at all. You see spreadsheets, invoices, payroll for companies that don't really do business, transportation firms that lose track of cargo conveniently, properties that change hands every 6 months. Money moves in small pieces, always smaller than it should, always layered. An accountant explains it once, tapping the screen. "No spikes," he says. "Spikes get attention." You structure payments so nothing looks connected. If one account is flagged, 3 others absorb the impact. If a business is raided, another opens under a different name. You live quietly. No luxury cars, no patterns, no photos. You've learned that attention is the only thing money can't buy back. When investigations start, they don't start with faces. They start with flows. That's why this level is lethal. When the money stops making sense, everything above it becomes visible. You know the clock is running. You just don't know how fast. Level 9, the ghost. No one uses your real name. They use intermediaries, cutouts, voices relayed through people who never meet each other. You don't issue orders. You shape incentives. You don't threaten. You let the structure do that for you. If one route shuts down, another opens. If one operator is arrested, another steps in. The system adjusts without asking permission. That's the final truth. It was never about individuals. It was about design. If you're exposed, there's no negotiation, no plea deals, no retirement. You disappear into a prison system designed to erase people, or you disappear quietly and are replaced. Because the system doesn't need you. It only needs someone in your place. At the bottom, you thought this was temporary. At the top, you understand it never was. Every level promised distance from danger. What it actually gave you was distance from escape. Months later, you passed the same bus station where it started. Different day, same steps. Another kid sitting there, phone in hand, watching the crowd. A man stops beside him. "You talk easy," he says. The system keeps moving. Perfectly.